Hello, anybody in here so far? Welcome to All About the Alternative. So, I guess as being the alternative, I'm going to this all off here, and we're going to get started, and have a new track here. Hopefully, this we'll see how that goes. So, anybody that's come in, if you want to let me know where you're from and who's here. Um, And we'll get started with this chat. Basically, I've seen a lot of chats or a lot of creators that have basically done a lot of stuff lately on what you need. And I've actually watched my own, like the people I subscribe to doing this, and I hear a lot of stuff going on that they're saying. So I wanted to add my own stuff to it and say a bit of things to it. So I thought I'd add some insight of my own into it that. As I started out rebranding my channel last year, I decided to just redo effort. Like I had my channel for like 18 years. Whoever has been in here before knows. I had my channel for 18 years before well, actually, sorry, 16 years before I suddenly decided to get back into it, and I restarted my channel, rebranded this channel because I already had the amount of subscribers, I already had the watch hours happening, so I didn't need to start all over again. I just rebranded the channel and said, okay, how about we um, I just I came on and changed the channel and restarted it off. And of course, all the other videos are still getting views and everything, so that's always is really helpful. Um, so anyway, I got started on this, and then I was watching some of the other YouTubers, and every now and then one will come on and say, "Well, all you need to do, I think everybody should get their own channel and should start, doing their own, uh, using their account to create a channel and get out there and get monetized." And it's not that simple. Sorry about that, folks. I think I lost my connection. Okay, I guess that proves that. I guess. Um, anyway, so yeah, what I was trying to say, and hopefully the sound was still going while I was doing that. My camera shut off on me. I'm not sure why it's not staying connected. If not, I'm going to have to change the cable on the camera. Uh, but so basically, yeah. So that's what I was basically trying to say is I've seen so many creators that have been talking about what they've done to start up their own channel and how they got monetized and how much money they're making, but they fail to say fail to say many things actually. But one of the things they fail to say is, yes, you get the amount of subscribers, you get the amount of watch hours, doesn't mean you're going to get the views, and that's the problem I have so far had, of course. So you have to actually um, you can get as many watch hours as you want on a video, but really, it's coming down to how many views you get that's actually going to, make your money. And nobody says that. And I've heard so many of them just keep saying, start up, talk to your camera, and do all that stuff. And yeah, that works. Sure, you can keep putting out videos that are only going to get the average new user, the new person who goes out, unless you're actually advertising to 1,000 people, you aren't going to get 1,000 views or thousands of views unless somebody else is actually projecting you out there to say, "Hey, I'm out here and I'm making videos," right? But you don't need all the stuff that they say that you need. They're talking about all the editing programs, and they're talking about all the equipment that they need, and some of them are right. Some of them are right. All you need is a phone. Start um, talking to your phone and making your videos and publishing those, and you can do that very easily. Of course, I have a separate extra phone that I've been using to do some of my videos because my regular phone I use as well, But this phone here has the ability to have a card in it and takes up to about a 1 terabyte card in it as well. So I can talk all day if I want on this and get lots of footage and everything, take photos and do everything with this camera because I don't have to worry about how much space I'm using up on my phone. The new phones that are out there only have so much space, and that's what you're limited to, and that's it. You have to offload somewhere as you're doing your uh, your video if you don't have enough space. So keep that in mind. Okay, that's an important thing to keep in mind. So, but yeah, so yeah, sure. Talk to your phone, get a tripod, and do all that stuff. No problem. You can do all that. So you know, I don't know if I can take off the subscribers mode or not, but I don't know why I realized that that was actually on there, but it is. If you're subscribed to my channel, come on the chat and talk as well, and give some insight into what you've done to start up your channel. You can even promote your channel here as well. I've seen some of the creators that's what they're all about is how to start up a YouTube channel, and then the people that are talking to each other, they're not allowed to put out their the name of their channel and try to promote a little bit, and that's what it should be all about because it's a network of what to do with YouTube. And so that's all um, hopefully helpful. And you know, that's exactly what it is. You know. So here's the thing. So what I actually got, most of the actual extra equipment I actually got from Temu. I actually got them for free because I was doing some of the little game things or whatever. You purchase so much and you get a free thing or something like that. And my free thing, I had to change the cable of my camera. I had to change the cable of my camera. So hopefully that's okay. Hopefully my sound is working. I wonder if I can change this. Anyone now? Hopefully that'll work. There we go. So now anyone can join in on the chat. I didn't realize that that was on. So that's fixed. um, yeah. So what I was trying to say before, hopefully was being, hopefully you could hear me. I don't know if you could even hear me, but normally I do a sound check when I'm doing my own video, when I'm doing the regular videos, and of course I have the gimbal back on. Okay, I can sit back a little bit too because I guess I should have sat back before. Okay, try to get this. Okay. So, is there anyone in the chat or anyone here that if you'd like to tell me who you are, let me know who's around. But yeah, who's joining me here? I what it's all about is networking and chatting, so we can talk about everything, and you can let me know what you're thinking about what my channel does. Maybe you have some pointers on my channel. Yeah, but like I was saying, unless you're putting your videos out to like 10,000 people, you're not going to get 10,000 views. And if YouTube isn't putting it out in the algorithm, I guess it's not going to get there either. So that's the way it works. Um, but yeah, um, and of course, it doesn't matter how like you have your 10,000 or 1,000 subscribers. You have your 1,000 subscribers, you have your 4,000 watch hours, and then you go and you sign up to get monetized. It took me about a week uh, after I had signed up to get monetized. So I had that, and and then I was monetized, but I wasn't making any money at it. It was making a few dollars here and there because I really didn't have the time for it. I was only putting out a few videos here and there. Maybe I was doing one a week or less because my time just it mattered about how much time I actually had. So of course, it was a very slow climb. It was a very slow climb, just trying to get some videos out there, getting views, and then one day, one of my videos that had gotten almost no views when it first came out actually just suddenly flew, and I suddenly had about 1,000 views on that, and it was still slowly climbing up until now. It's got 10,000 views on it now. But nobody knows me. Obviously, they don't really know who I am. So of course, that's that's just how it works. Unless you're well known or a celebrity of some kind, just starting up a YouTube channel. That was the whole thing with the Gypsy Rose thing. She had um, I don't usually say other people's channels, so I apologize. That really isn't my thing. But whatever channel she actually has, I'm not saying the name of the channel, but she came out of jail with a uh, she had a um, what do you call it, a you know promotion crew, and so everyone was promoting her, and she was getting out on social media, and that's how she started making money, just right off the bat, because she had a promotion crew. So, I mean, I don't have a promotion group or anything to go with, so that's I got a slow climb and getting my name out there, and hopefully someday, I'm gonna have the views like everybody else does. But I mean, I'm the small person out here that um, you know I can advertise myself to my friends. I can tell everybody that I'm out here, but there's you really don't you don't just get 1,000 views just by putting out a video. It doesn't work that way. And anybody who's telling you that it is, um, they maybe did do, they started off and put out some videos, and suddenly it took off and they got videos, and they started doing the videos on how to be a YouTuber, or they started doing something and it just took off. Well, that's fine, great. That's great the way that worked out, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work that way. So you never know. I can give it my all and try out doing different things. And one of the things I started doing was I started just doing my videos. So I've got a couple of like series of things that I started doing, and my all about the alternative was so broad that of course I could do almost anything with the alternative, because there's a ton of things that are alternatives out there, and the gadgets that I show are things to improve your lifestyle, and things as well. Maybe an alternative to doing something that you were doing differently before, something helpful. Let's see how that works out. And I just keep going with stuff like that. And of course, like I said, I started off. I had my phone was my camera, and I was always the one behind the camera. And that um, you know, I did fine arts camps and programs and school courses, of course, and stuff like that. But I was never the outgoing type, so this was sort of a surprise, I guess, that putting myself out in front of the camera and giving it information about things, it just suddenly became something I wanted to try doing, and it's slowly taking off. I've done about almost a year and a half now of doing it this way, and the fun of it is great. Um, but the monetized part of it, I mean, like I said, I was pretty much monetized almost right away because I had the subscribers and I had the watch hours, just all right there because of what I had already put out there 16 years prior. It was just generating subscribers, and it was generating views and watch hours, and I already had that. So once I started putting out my new videos, and of course they did their analysis of my videos that I was currently putting out, all the other stuff prior was put to those are not monetized at all. Some of them do have some copyright issues and stuff like that, but they are generating views. So I kept them on for now. And once, of course, the time comes that I will be taking all of them and putting them to members only, perhaps, and I will, of course, announce when I'm going to do that. I'm not going to delete them because, of course, they're getting the views. And, of course, if they're getting views, why would you delete that? it's still giving me the views, but it's not giving me anything monetized. All my stuff that I've put out, all the content I have put out since January of 2024 is all monetized. So every single one of those videos, and I'm learning a lot with editing and really um, every little bit that I've learned. Now, some of it I've actually learned from other YouTubers and suggestions, and I've gone and said, "Oh yeah, that's a neat idea." So I went and I tried out the idea, and some failed, some worked, um, and but I started doing a search for myself of what to use for an editing program. And of course, I'd done some graphics editing actually, what I did years ago. I actually did a little bit then. And so I just sort of applied what I already knew to one of the programs that was out there as well. And I guess I, of course, settled on ClipJam with Microsoft ClipJam. And I discovered so many things about this program that it was like, well, that's all free. Now I know, okay, all about the alternatives. Going to show you all the free stuff, right? And that's not necessarily the case. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna tell you that that's not always the case. I'm not gonna give you all the free stuff. But if I find something that's free, I'm gonna let you know about it. And you know, that's the minimalist side of the alternative, I guess. But uh, so there's some things that are just free out there. There are some websites you can go to help you doing some of the editing. You put your video in, and it gives you a short. But the only problem with some of those ones is that they put a little bit of a splash screen on your video, which is one of my first shorts that I did. I tested out one of the short programs, and it made a good video of one of my video, uh, but it put this little uh, timestamp on it or whatever, and so now it's got that for life on there. There's no way I can take that off unless um, well, there's definitely I can't take that off that video. Anyway, I can redo that video with the program I currently have. I discovered that my program that I already had, the Microsoft Clipchamp, does all of that already, and I was doing that for free. There are parts of the program that you can pay for, of course, but the initial actual part of the program, there are so many functions to it without having to pay for it. It's all you have to sign up, you have to have an account with it, but it's free. You don't have to do anything. So that one is actually very easy. So yeah, I would keep that in mind. So Microsoft Clipchamp, but you can also go to a website for Microsoft Clipchamp, and perhaps I'll try to put those both into the description later. But there's also a website. So if you're using like an iPad or Apple product, you can still use Microsoft Clipchamp. I did test that with my iPad, so you can connect through that as well, unless you actually sign up with your like you have to if you have a paid account with Clipchamp, you can save data and information that you would use on your project, and you can do that. That's the downside. Okay, so you don't have that, but carry along with you a portable hard drive, and you've got all that information and all of that stuff already there, so you can use that too. So that's a very easy part of doing it. So yeah, so Clipchamp, it actually let me take my pictures. I had one of those color, you put the backdrop and you put your item into the backdrop and you take your picture and then you can put it into your video. And then I discovered that Clipchamp does the exact same thing anyway. Just take your picture wherever you're taking it and take it with some weird background happening in your picture. And then you just select when you put it into the B-roll of your video, um, and you just click on remove background. So you remove the background, takes out everything in behind the item the object that you're using. So you just take that out, and away you go again. And you can use it. You can't save that picture by itself, mind you. I don't know if there's a program that even does that, necessarily. There might be one that does that. But in this case, you put it into your video and you can use it. Like it looks like a floating thing on your video, mind you, unless you put it into somewhere that looks like it's sitting on something. As you've seen on some of my videos, if you've looked at my videos too, you probably have seen that. So, yeah, hopefully, if you've gotten this far in my video, you can give me a like and a subscribe, of course. I've created those splash screens for my regular video because a lot of times I'm showing a product and I forget to say the words, that I'm not sponsored by any of the products that I'm talking about or anything, and I'm not sponsored by anything for this video either. But yeah, so if you can give me a like and a subscribe, and if you're coming into to watch this on the replay, you can give me a comment and let me know what you think of some of my videos or of this video and some of the information that I'm giving here. Um, it's really a neat idea. Of course, I've got the sound thing as well now. So as I'm doing my videos, I can actually have a little applause. I can do and I can cheers. So as I'm doing my videos, you can uh, you can get that. Um, so yeah, this has been very it's been an outgoing thing for me actually. This has brought out my um, you know my quiet side into being something that um, so I can put out to the world and talk about things and that. And I've seen so many things. I've done some social media concepts with some of my videos too. It's just things that I've seen somebody talking about, somebody doing, and I'm going to do more of I think that just to talk about what's being said out there. Um, and I'm not sure why my thing is not working. Okay, the gimbal shut off. Okay, I'm not sure why I did that. Um, so yeah, I've got I've got some video equipment and stuff like that too, but you don't need all that stuff to do a YouTube channel. Um, so if you can acquire it over time, maybe monthly you buy one little item or something to go onto your channel, maybe you do that. But you don't need to do that. Honestly, you really don't need to do any of that. It's just so easy to just go onto your phone and take a video, and then you go and edit it later. Keep in mind, though, if you're using your phone, it may just take the whole time that you're talking for an hour of talk and do a video. The other thing to keep in mind is to try to go into like 10 to 15-minute blocks on your phone. So if you can set it up to do that, otherwise, 'cause I know GoPros actually do it specifically. My other camera here will break it up in slots of 15. Um, but I find a lot of times when you go to put it into the software, into the editing programs, they don't like videos that are larger than 15 minutes anyway, but it also slows down the system and it takes a long time for it to render those videos before you can even get to doing the editing. So it takes you a lot longer to get a video ready to put out. And hopefully I've given some advice here that is a little more um, for the new user. And I think that's what they're missing. I think they're missing the fact that, yeah, they've probably been doing the videos now for like 4 or 5 years and think that, um, you know, sure, they're monetized and they're getting a lot more money and that. And of course, if you look on some of the statistics programs like vidIQ or whatever, if you look at some of those ones and go to one of the channels and see what they're doing and how much money they supposedly are making, some of that is not right. Some of that is actually incorrect, and I've noticed that. I look at my own stats and realize their stats are way off. So I know that just looking at those stats doesn't really give you any information about another channel because even if whatever they're telling you. And of course, when I signed up, of course, I had to sign up a tax. So, and I know it's foreign tax for me because I'm in Canada, but it's U.S. tax. So, of course, at the end of the year, I will I will have to deal with that part of it. But they are taking tax off, so it's not like um, I'll probably get a little bit of money back from that at the end of the year because they took that tax off, depending on how much money I actually wind up making in the end. So it really depends on everything about that. So when they tell you they've made a certain amount of money, and some of them do say that they're going to tell you how much money they make, and they don't. I'm not telling you how much I'm making either, mind you. I don't think that's necessary. It's like telling somebody how much, posting how much you make or not make. And if your channel's doing really well, that's great. But realize as well that there is one final downside. Your channel can get demonetized. If you said something wrong, your channel could get demonetized. You could get you could lose a lot of subscribers. Which of course in turn means you're probably not going to get the views either. And the less amount of views, the less amount of money you're going to make. And also, further downside of it, of course, is it all goes away. Um, there, if 20 years ago YouTube was out there to make money based on, excuse me, if you put a video out, and that's what they did. So you put a video out, and if you had more than 10 minutes or more than 100 meg, you were paying for the video you were putting out if you wanted to do that. None of my videos were larger than that. I never paid anything to put my videos out there, but lots of people I'm sure were because they had accounts that did that. And then they got, um, I don't know how many years it was later because I wasn't really keeping track of it. Um, they suddenly got advertisers that were advertising on the videos, and all the videos that had copyright issues and that, of course, were not eligible. Which, of course, the videos I put out 16 years ago, or almost 18 years ago, I should say. Sorry. I was 16 years in when I relaunched the channel, but um, it's basically almost 18 years now that I've been doing this as well. And yeah, um, so if you're putting your videos out on on you know, um, you know sorry, I'm lost track of my what I'm saying there. But yeah, if suddenly it goes back to the same way again, that's what I was trying to get at. If it goes back to the same way again, you're back to the same luck you had before, and it's gone, right? So hopefully, I'm going to wrap this up here, I guess, and we'll do this another day, and hopefully I'll get more people to join me on my live. I don't know if I'm going to save this or not, but the very beginning there, I don't know. Of course, my camera stopped the cable. I had a different cable in my phone in my camera, and wasn't staying connected. So um, there's always little glitches. I guess when you're doing a live, you don't have any control over that at all. I guess, right? Obviously, you don't have any control over that, and so you've seen I had glitches in the beginning there where I lost the camera. Uh, yeah. So hopefully this is going to give a little bit of information. I want to do another one of these lives again. Get more. Hopefully there'll be more people that join me for the live, and we'll see how it goes. Um, Hopefully this has given you some insights a little bit. Um, I always think that there. I've mentioned this in other contexts, and that if you're I used to have a book that used to teach you how to write. Well, not teach you how to write, but on writers, right? And it was all about writing. And it had this one segment that had Stephen King had written this segment. And it basically said, if you're not making money, don't, you can't look for an agent until you're actually making money. So don't look for, that you're going to go out and spend lots of money on your channel if you're not making that kind of money. So, all the things that I have, all the gadgets and all that stuff, there's stuff I've acquired over time. In fact, a few of the videos I recently did were on things I already had from from a few years old. It's just little glitches, little things about them that I wanted to put videos out about. So I've done that. They're not new. I was really giving you a price for anything. It's not worth my doing that because it's something I already had. So, and I just gave the information. I some glitches and things, some workarounds and some fixes that I've had. Um, but doing like a grocery haul or something like that could be kind of interesting. I could maybe do something like that. Um, but so I've got lots of different things that I want to do. I want to do that game a little bit more. That's my plan. Um, there's all kinds of stuff that I wanted to do, but I've been trying different avenues with this channel to see if there's any way that I can get my name out there a little bit more, of course, and that's important. Um, but yeah, any of those ones that are telling you that they've just hey, just take your phone, just start recording. Um, they forget the little title of get your name out there. Take your video. Yes, take your video. Put it onto a Facebook group or something like that that's about the same topic that your video is about. Don't put it on something that's not about your topic. But if you have a topic and you've done a video, put it out there into that topic from a group in Facebook, and it'll probably generate more views. One of my videos actually got a ton of views because because people were seeing it there and were going to watch it on YouTube through Facebook. And as much as that sounds like it doesn't work, it does because it gets your name out there. And once your name gets out there, then they go look at some of the other videos and use some of the other strategies, like go watch this video next or do this, things like that. If you don't do that, who's going to see you? There's a little guy that nobody knows about, and that's my situation here. Um, and eventually, people are going to go see your videos. They're going to see what you're all about, and they're going to know that you're, um, you know, to go watch your other videos. If you put them into playlists, hopefully they'll go see one video and they'll go see the other videos attached to that playlist, and then they'll get more into all the other videos you've done as well. You'll see more. Hopefully that works. And so that's the ones I've had, the ones that have been successful for me have definitely been like that. So, so I'm going to leave that here at this point. I guess I almost said that before, so I'm going to do that now. But I'm going to do some more live. Put a comment down below. And all my videos, if you visited my videos, please give them a like. Please put a comment down below so that I can see, what you're thinking about the videos and my content, and let's go from there. I want to do more of this though, so hopefully, like I said, I'm going to probably be doing a regular live. I'm not going to schedule it so much right just yet, but I will get to a point where I'm going to schedule it at the time, and we'll do more. Doing my live, and I'm going to just do my live and do my segments. I think live might be just easier. And then I can always do another video later uh, that I can add in my pictures and all that stuff as well, because you can go in and edit a live actually later on and as well. Okay, so I rambled on a little bit, so I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good day, everybody.